Shalom royalty, it's Ellie here. My quality might sound a little different. I do not have my microphone plugged in right now. I'm just, getting over that little funky feeling. It's weird. A lot of people seem to be like it, whether it be a conversation I am observing, a conversation I'm having, a post I'll see on social media, on my friends list for people I follow, and different content creators here on YouTube. It's a lot of the same things going on with different people that I just, I didn't expect that. As far as, that weird, down kind of feeling, or people talking about sexual energy a lot. It's just a little strange. I'm not sure what's going on. It was expected during the month of February because, with the planet alignments and Valentine's Day and all of that energy during Pisces season, it would make sense for that to be the topic, but it's just weird right now. So I don't know what that's about. If anyone can clarify what's going on in the spirit for that, please let me know, because it's strange and it's kind of bothersome, to be very honest. But in this video, I just wanted to talk about preparation and being in alignment. And, just having that, it's not necessarily a heads up warning. Like, God will give you the heads up warning, but it's our job to actually take that warning and listen to it. So as most of us know, 2020 caught a lot of people. Like, it caught a lot of people. And it's not just, COVID. That wasn't the thing. That wasn't the issue. Had people taken advice from people who are financially literate, most financially literate people will always tell you, have at least 3 to 6 months worth of money saved. So if anything happens to your income, you'll be fine for 3 to 6 months. In school, we were taught to have stockpiles of food and water and safety supplies for when there's a storm. Whatever type of storm in your area there is, you'll have food and non-perishable goods and all of that stuff taken care of. 2020 showed us that none of us were doing that. Nobody was prepared for anything. And then you can't blame a virus. You can't blame, any of the other situations that happen. You can't blame lockdowns. No one was prepared because people just don't take that type of stuff seriously. And so, I was watching a Pastor Dowell video. He posted it. It was either earlier today or yesterday. Today is May 20th. And so around this time he posted it, and he was talking about how the economy isn't going back to how it used to be. And for me, in my brain, I'm like, obviously, but I'm a kingdom entrepreneur, so I already keep up with certain things. I already know about all that stuff. So, but to other people, it may not be that obvious, and they needed to hear that message and actually understand what's going on. So along with buying silver and gold, which I highly recommend, which I have done before, besides learning about real estate investing, which I do teach and encourage people to own property, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with your property you buy? What are you going to do with the gold and silver you buy? The gold and silver isn't there for you to trade it. You can trade it and make currency, of course, but most importantly, you want to solidify your portfolio. But what I'm talking about today, as you can see, I have a bell pepper plant here. And if you've been following my channel for a little bit, you've probably seen these when they were really small. So now we have flowerings, we have buds right here. So those are little bell peppers that are going to be growing. Here's my tomato plant, and we have a couple flowerings. And then we have this one that used to be a flowering. Now it is just about a small tomato. So we got this stuff going on. That white stuff is diatomaceous earth. I hope I pronounced that right. I learned I was pronouncing it wrong for like a year or two. Diatomaceous earth, that's just to help keep the insects away and keep them from biting it. This is my green bean plant right here. And these grew from seed. Most of these were planted plants, vegetables. But the green beans were planted from seed, and they're doing very well. Funny situation happened. So this particular green bean plant was growing kind of weird, and so it ended up breaking off and falling over. So I talked to my aunt about it, and she was like, okay, just put it in the dirt. So I put this in the dirt. The leaves are kind of being ugly, but these new ones have grown. The buds are still there, so we'll just see what happens. My sweet mint sweetie right here is always A1, always growing really, really fast. When I take my spiritual baths, my detox baths, I take some leaves, put it in my bathtub, and then when I'm done, I put them back in the soil. And this, I mean, sweet mint already grows fast. If you have sweet mint, you already know that it grows really, really fast. Putting the leaves back in there has made it grow so much faster, which I did not expect. So I'm just going to keep doing it. This is my red ghost pepper plant right here. This is my jalapeno plant right here. We have some flowerings on here too. So where they at? Where they at? There they go. Right here. Here is the hot bell pepper plant. We got a lot of buds on here. So it's like one right here, one there, a couple right here, a couple at the top here, and one right there. So we're doing good here. And this is Thai basil. I didn't know that they grew purple flowers, but they're really pretty. I don't use basil all that much, so that'll probably go into my canning mostly. And I'll talk about canning in a minute too. And this is the lettuce. The lettuce has been struggling a little bit. Hold on a second. The lettuce has been struggling. That's been growing from seed. We have like a couple of sprouts right here. But what's been happening with the sprouts is they'll come up and then go back down. So I'm not sure. I took an old lettuce plant from the store and planted it right here. Somebody sent me a video that could be done, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So I'm going to see how that works. And this is spinach. This has been growing from seed, and it's been doing really, really well. And so, along with starting a garden, I highly recommend everyone buy some land and start a garden. I am so serious. And if you aren't able to buy land to do this, do what I did. You know, get some pots, get some mini kiddie pools. Make sure you put holes at the bottom of everything, because that's why we have like the racks right there for drainage. I'm not like, you know, a huge experienced gardener. I had a garden before and it was ugly. We grew one squash, a misformed watermelon, and we had a lot of sweet mint, so that was fine. And we had some what was that other? It was another herb. Herbs are easy to grow because they're just, you know, the leaves. But when it comes to growing vegetables and fruit, it can be a little more difficult if you're not doing things properly. And so, along with, you know, having your food growing, learn to preserve food, learn to can food, learn to pickle food so you can keep it on the shelf for who knows how long. That's just standard. What we need to start doing normally in our lives. This isn't something that, you know, that we need to do when it's an emergency. No, this needs to become a habit. This needs to become a habit and a hobby for those of us, well, for all of us. It just needs to become a habit and a hobby for all of us. This needs to be a home skill that is taught in the home. And I wish it was taught in schools, but you know how they are. Bill Gates is trying to tell Americans and other quote-unquote rich countries that they don't need to eat real meat. Okay, if he's saying crazy stuff like that, we need to take agriculture and livestock seriously. You need to raise your own chickens. If you have enough land, get a goat, get a cow. You know, have a couple of live animals. If you decide to eat meat, learn to properly process those animals and break them down and can those meat products as well. Preserve your meat if you decide to eat meat. I'm currently on a vegan fast at the moment, and so I know a lot of people who are into spirituality are vegan or vegetarian. So but even if you are vegan or vegetarian, you can also have some livestock at your home just to keep that life, because having animals can help you also with your plants. You can be a beekeeper if you are vegan. You don't have to eat the honey, but the bees will help to pollinate your plants. It's just imperative that we take this life seriously. I'm not talking about the Matrix. I'm not talking about going to work and paying bills. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual life, because what will happen if anything happens to the internet? What would happen if anything was to happen? Like, if we, like, it's already war in Israel, okay? Who's to say that war won't come to America at this point? It used to be a thing where it was like, oh, war isn't going to come to America. 9/11 happened. War isn't going to come to America. We started having terrorist attacks. War isn't going to come to America. Now the border's wide open. Do y'all see what's happening? We need to take this type of stuff seriously. Grow your own food. And if you can't grow your own food, somebody you might know in your family, assist them with helping them grow their food. Either sow into them by giving them money for different things, for fertilizer, for soil, for seeds, or you can buy those things for them, give it to them, and just have an agreement. Hey, at harvest time, I would like this amount of food, or what, I'll buy these plants and I want all of the harvest from these plants, or whatever the situation may be. Do something, because at this point there is no excuse. There will be no excuse when push comes to shove. When it becomes serious time, you can't complain. You won't be able to complain when McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King are closed. You won't be able to complain when the grocery stores don't have the food that you need. All they have is processed food, because it doesn't take this to make processed food. They don't need food materials to make processed food a lot of times. They don't even have real meat in a lot of the processed foods that we have nowadays. This is what's going to save us. Not the government. Not Joe Biden. Not these movements. Forget everything. Forget everything. Forget being, part of whatever religion. Forget your skin color. Forget all that. What is happening right now on the planet? Answer that question. It doesn't matter who you belong to at this point. Go back to the roots. Literally, go back to the roots of what man was created to do. It doesn't matter who's against who. All that matters is, are you going to be able to live another day because you have enough food to last? I don't mean to yell. I don't mean to get, angry, but it's just sad seeing people lay up and expect, no, people aren't going back to work, man. People aren't even going back to work, not because, they want to be part of the matrix. It's just the government is, quote unquote, taking care of people up until they don't. I know someone personally who got the business, this is somebody who got the business loan, okay, from the government. Not unemployment as far as I lost my job, but this was someone who was an entrepreneur. The government was giving assistance to those who are entrepreneurs as well, and they took away the money that they were supposed to give them. They were giving them a certain amount of money, and they had a certain other amount of money that they were supposed to get, and the government said, nope, you don't have that anymore. What? We have no control over them. This is all we have control over, and we barely have control over this. Like I said, this fell, and those aren't really growing that well. So you have to try your best, man. Come on. It's so serious out here. It is so serious that we have to learn how to take care of ourselves and stop depending on someone else to take care of us. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go, though. Like I said, I don't mean to yell. It's just so serious out here. I'm 23 years old, man. I don't like seeing lazy people, especially in my age group. This is our time for us to be doing certain things, and people are sitting back and relaxing because they think they can, when we really can't. We don't have that time. We really don't. Make sure you take action. God bless all of you. Shalom, royalty. Tawada.